I almost forgot I had tea. Hello, I'm Aubrielle with Conscientious Cosmos. I'm trying to decide if I really like this being here because it's kind of ruining my vibe, or if I'm just going to hold it. But yeah, welcome back to Conscientious Cosmos. I guess you could say, host, um, conduit Aubrielle, here to just allow my energy to speak through what is happening this upcoming April in terms of astrological transits, and just to wish you all a happy April and a fresh start to a month. There's something so exciting about the fresh start to a month. April energy, Aries energy. I think my kitty cat wants to go on my bed. I know, Sugar Plum. Okay, there you go. Okay. I had books on my bed. So he's like, girl. He's always crying. I'm drinking some spearmint tea. This is going to be a long video, so get a little snack, get a little drink, um, to just come and chat with me about upcoming April vibes and where you're at. And you probably couldn't hear me very well because I didn't have it close to my face. But yeah, so I'll be reading through some of my notes that I have about the upcoming month. I'm going to move this a little bit so that I can read. Yeah, so the current quality of time that is going through the first days of the month here, we're seeing a focus on relationships and partnerships are the themes due to the signs and planets and planetary movements that are involved, hence the Libra full moon that's happening tomorrow. So Libra is a Venusian ruled sign. It's also a cardinal sign, but Libra is known as the just like this equalizing energy, balancing of the scales. Um, Venusian ruled, so Venus is a harbinger of relationships and kind of lords over that. There's also this energy um, of the Saturnian qualities of Libra that I think kind of follow in its shadow. Um, because Libra is exalted in the planet of Saturn, so um, it works really well. It does really well when Saturn is in the sign of Libra. Again, you have that balancing of the scales. That's like the key theme and well-known symbol of at least in where I am in the United States, this country, um, the symbol of law, and it highlights these themes that Venus does need those boundaries and those sort of rules and regulations in relationships so that things don't feel too muddy and mysterious and relaxed and kind of, yeah, just lax. Whereas like with Taurus, I'm a Taurus, so I'm kind of known to be, I might be my moon sign too. I have a Virgo moon. But there have been times where I've noticed that, yes, especially in the past, I would be very relaxed when it came to relationships and letting certain things slide. Um, but that's where I feel like that Saturnian, Venusian quality with Libra really, really shines with any aspect of relationships, whether it be family, romantic, um, law, business, you name it. So we have that happening, that full moon on April 2nd, and we're going to see a tense aspect to Jupiter and Cancer. I'll go into the details about which aspects it'll be forming. And then Mercury in Pisces, trines Jupiter on April 3rd, so that'll be nice. Alleviation and expansion of communication as well. Maybe learning some new things about communication, how you communicate in your relationships, or even just with yourself. And on the 4th, there is a square between Venus in Taurus and Pluto in Aquarius that goes exact. And on the 6th of April, the Sun squares Jupiter. So yeah, like I mentioned before, the mood is very communicative. This Aries energy that the Sun is in, it just kind of ignites a lot of passion as the backdrop for a lot of these transits. Um, so just kind of the sense of impulsivity, invigoration. I just got a notification from Chani that the full moon is now. Connect with the people that you care about, she says. I love that. Connecting with you guys. And this powerful surge of energy favors deep, sensual encounters in love relationships, as well as devoted artistic creation as well. Exaggeration, overconfidence, a flair for drama could slow the flow down a little bit as well. Goodness, here comes my brother and his loud music. And then we also have Mars entering Aries on the 9th of April, and the quality of time will become even more dynamic. There's a bit of unpredictability as well. Especially with like any transits that are going to happen with outer planets. On April 8th, just before changing signs, Mars will form a sextile with Uranus, and this is followed by a conjunction with Neptune on the 13th of April, and a sextile with Pluto on the 16th of April, and a conjunction with Saturn on the 20th of April. Okay, I'm gonna let my dog in and take a little sip. Come here, baby. It's all chilly out there. Okay. So Mars is going to act as this sort of spark of development. Spark meaning a fire, stoking the fire, the passion, creating something. Things can be nourished from being burned with fire. I've talked about this before, I think, in my fire video, one of my first videos, where I talked about the element of fire being used to replenish the foundation and burn things down and replenish the foundation for something new to be built. And there's also fire that's required and sparks that is required for momentum and to be built, and attention will be grabbed by that momentum. In order to maintain momentum, you have to keep putting energy onto it and attention onto it. So this goal-oriented, impulsive energy of Mars and Aries is going to prefer some quick solutions and contending with a variety of counter forces. If you so please, you can have counter forces if you wish. At least that's the way I see it. Even if the things are counter forces, I'm going to find a way to use it in my advantage. So you could take resistance and ambiguity seriously. And I think that is important because the energy of Mars and Aries is very decisive. So now is not the time for ambiguity, I would say. I don't think there is really ever a time for ambiguity, really, that I don't like wasting time. I like relaxing, but I don't consider that a waste of time. But if somebody's wasting time with ambiguity, dragging their feet, not getting things done that involve like a group project potentially, even myself, if I'm working on my lonesome, that shit won't slide very well. I'm not going to see the results that I want in April or just in general in life. That's that's like a key theme in life from any successful person that I've talked to. That's just not in the cards. So like denial of reality as well can create this like stagnant energy. And one thing about I did a little video about Chiron and Aries, and there was one word that was mentioned that was like, yep, that's Aries right there, or just any fire sign in general that I know, the energy of restlessness. Fire signs cannot put up with that for long. They need to be constantly moving, whether they're fixed, cardinal, or mutable. They need to be moving and doing something or having some sort of dynamic change in their life that allows for that stagnation to just kind of be waded through or even alchemized into something a bit more liquidated. Um, so that will enhance the sense of like foresight, decisiveness will and like heighten this foresight, courage, discipline, and great things can be achieved from that, especially when that's compounded. It doesn't have to be all at once. It's the compound effect. Take baby steps and see what happens over time. Um, Other planets that activate Aries themes during this period, um, having passed the sextile to Uranus, Mercury enters Aries on the 15th of April. In addition, on the 17th, there will be a new moon in Aries conjunct Chiron. And I believe Chiron is still in Aries. I'm excited for Chiron and Taurus, though. I'm going to keep reading through the archetypes, so stay tuned because I'm going to come up with some more archetypal videos about each planet and in the signs and stuff. So that'll be fun. Um, yes, and then simultaneously, Mercury will conjoin Neptune as the new moon in Aries is conjunct Chiron. So the Sun, Moon, and Chiron at that point will be in conjunction, and Neptune, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn will form this really fiery stellium in Aries. And how funny, like, way to close out Aries season with a bang on April, like close to the end of or midpoint of April. Like, that's just a fabulous closeout to Aries season and a great ode to the fire signs. Like, they're not going out subtle, to say the least. They're not going out subtle. I would expect nothing less. So it's really exciting and sometimes rare even to see like these clusters of planets in a zodiac sign, especially around the time of a Saturn Neptune conjunction. So there's this really, you know, if you especially if you're moving on Einstein time or Newtonian time, then time will be full of tension and it's kind of wild component, but you could probably get the same from Einstein time as well. Who knows? Things move quicker on Einstein time is what I'm told. So even if it's tension and archaic and wild and pick your poison. Um, for some, this will be a welcome opportunity to embark on an adventure. It could be an actual adventure. Maybe you're going on a trip. Maybe you are starting a new business venture or continuing to nurture a new business venture. Um, Maybe you are starting a new book. Could be as simple as that. Maybe you're taking a new walking route. Anything. um, uh, yeah, to embark on an adventure with an uncertain outcome or to spark a revolution. So that could probably be something that we see on a grander scale, especially during Aries season. Aries is, Ares. It's the god of war. Um, and there's this very powerful alpha energy for not just men but women as well, that you see this kind of flowery war with relationships, or war in general. Child, you could say war is happening all the time. It's not just Aries season that war is happening. um but yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if something major is happening in terms of revolution. There's little revolutions and big revolutions every day. So even if you are content with your life, again, the energy of restlessness might come up. You want to do something a little bit new. It can be as simple as starting a new book, taking a new walking route, trying a different tea, adding a new little something to your morning routine, taking a trip, starting a new business venture, any sort of things like that. That energy will be, well supported and backed by the Aries energy that you will be experiencing this month, or at least until April 20th. So, um, yeah, don't be afraid to get that fresh start. That's something, that's advice that I'm giving to myself. I know I'm going to be making some power moves this year, and I'm going to be taking this Aries season to reassure my soul that I am on a path to create exactly what I've been wanting to create for my community, myself, my future generations, you name it. Yeah. So trust yourself, go with your gut, play from a position of strength, and have fun. Yeah. And then on April 20th, the sun leaves Aries for Taurus, woo woo, while Mercury, Saturn, and Mars remain in an exact conjunction in Aries. The pressure to act could be considerable, so do what's necessary. Beware of blind activism. I've actually seen that in when I used to be heavily in the activism space. I would see a lot of Aries people, sun sign people, that were just blindly in it. I have no words. I've never seen it. I was just fascinated. I'm fascinated by people in general, so I don't have anything bad to say. It was just really fascinating to see somebody go through something without any discernment. Um, that is, I think, another thing with Aries is that when it comes to the decisiveness, you're not only cutting off all other options, you're cutting off different ways of seeing and decisiveness as well. So, um, or different ways of perceiving something as well, so that you're not able to have that discernment. And when you're not able to perceive something, sometimes you get deceived. And that's another thing with Aries energy, is that it can be so, it's the first sign of the zodiac, it's very youthful, it's fun, it's innocent, sometimes even ignorant. And it's like, that can only go so far. Like, they literally get burned. And that's like the road to take. That's the kairotic energy. That's the healing energy that they have to walk through life with, is knowing that they need to have this sense of personal power and not allow somebody to, you know, like create their life for them. So this sense of ownership, that's why Aries represents the self. Like, there's this, that a major theme of come back to self, come back to center, like have your own, you know, make sure that you do it or they will do it for you type of energy. So, um, yeah, slow the pace, set priorities, and work as carefully as possible. And, on this day, April 20th, hasty action can cause a lot of damage. Um, if you see it that way, just be extra discerning. Um, Me as a Taurus, I took a long time to make decisions. It's not the right way, but it works for me. It may not be the right way for some people, but it works for me, and um, and I like it that way. I like it that way for sure. I learn a lot more. I'm able to really, really trust my intuition. My relationship with my intuition has improved in doing so. So, yeah. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to make sure that this has been videotaping and recording, but I'll be back. Yay! I'm back from my little break. And where did I leave off? Yes, so I left off in that final week of April, talking about April 20th. So the final week of April holds considerable potential for surprises with the transits that are happening. We have Venus meeting Uranus on the 24th of April, right before entering Gemini, my Venus sign as well, which I love. Venus and Gemini, so fun. So fun, so intelligent, so flirty, very Elle Woods. What, like it's hard type of energy. It's so fun. The Sun and Pluto form a square on the 25th of April. And then one day later, on the 26th of April, we have Uranus also entering Gemini. And at the same time, Venus is in sextile with Neptune, and Mercury squares Jupiter in Cancer, which is just also my signs. I'm having a happy time, to say the least. Every day is happy for me, for the most part. The meeting of Venus and Uranus, as well as their change of signs, brings a just like this fresh air, just like you've been inside all day and you finally stepped out and like you feel the sun on you, and it's such a rejuvenating energy. So that will be coming to your partnerships and your relationships, but also all areas of human communication, with Gemini ruling over communication, just Mercury in general. So when you have Venus and Gemini, also again that like fresh air quality, Gemini is an air sign, it'll really be nice and refreshing. Excuse you, miss. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, just this livelier mood, very happy, jovial, outgoing. Um, yeah, and just it could also be a sense of adventure. You have Aries kind of sparking that momentum and adventure, and then that Gemini